Birmingham have confirmed Wayne Rooney as their new manager. He starts immediately, having left his position as the head coach of MLS side DC United. It's news we brought you over the weekend. Rooney supported by former England teammates Ashley Cole, the current Angler 21 assistant coach, and John O'Shea, the assistant coach of the Republic of Ireland men's national team, and Carl Robinson and Peter Shuttleworth, who both assisted Rooney at DC United. Shuttleworth also part of his coaching team at Derby County. Crook, got any more on that?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it, how quickly this deal has been put together, bearing in mind that they didn't start talks with Wayne Rooney until after John Eustace was relieved of his duties. They've done remarkably well
told you that?
to get
I thought you broke the story suggesting
agreed.
that they'd already told John on Friday.
I think there was a hint of sarcasm in his voice.
Yeah, I think there may have been. Wayne sat in front of a press conference on the weekend, so I've got nothing lined up, honestly.
Even though his boy had
started following all the Birmingham players. Quotes in the press release from Gary Cook, of course. He wrote that open letter, which we weren't very impressed with yesterday. He says, "We're incredibly excited by Wayne's arrival." This is the chief executive of Birmingham. "When the opportunity presents itself to appoint a manager who shares your ambition and is both the student and a great of the game, then you act. This is what we have done. We are confident this appointment, supported by his hand-picked coaching staff, will culminate in a young, attack-minded team that will excite our fans." Craig Gardner is going to stay on in his role, I think, as technical director, and he's promising Gary Cook that there will be investment in the squad in the January and summer transfer windows ahead. Quotes from Rooney as well. He's delighted to be joining Birmingham City at such an exciting time. It's clear, says Rooney, they have a plan and are committed to realising their ambition for the club. "We are fully aligned on what is expected. I've been building my managerial career, putting myself in challenging environments to get me ready for this opportunity. It's a project that gives me a sense of purpose. I can't wait to get started." That word aligned again.
Yes, there's a lot of this, isn't there, in the statements from Gary Cook, in the statements from Birmingham City, and the words there from Wayne Rooney about ambitions being aligned. Why is that so key? I mean, this is pretty clear that they've obviously come up with this phrase.
It's a footballing philosophy.
They keep using
aligned.
this phrase, but ultimately they wanted Wayne Rooney to be the manager. Why didn't they just come out and say that right at the beginning? Why have they given us these three different statements?
They're trying to justify the decision, and I take from that they're aligned in the way they want to play and how they're going to move forward, whereas the previous manager, although getting results and doing really well, which you have to adapt in a championship, can't always be great football on the front foot, kind of free-flowing. That's not what they want. They want a team to win games and play good football and please the fans with the type of style of football they see, which is fine if they're going to go. And Rooney will play it. He'll try and play the right way. So he's ambitious, he's hungry. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. But I have got some sympathy for Eustace. I mean, he's done a hell of a job.
I think that's the key to it. I mean, we're not necessarily criticising the appointment of Wayne Rooney. There are Birmingham fans who aren't as excited as the board seem to be. But it does seem hugely unfair on John Eustace.
It does, and I've got no...
As it was on Gary O'Neill.
I've got no truck whatsoever, no problem at all with Wayne Rooney taking the job, and I think when you are the owner of a football club, you have every right to decide how you want to move forward. And if they've decided that they want Wayne Rooney in charge, that's fine. But don't fob people off. I just don't understand why you spent the weekend saying it's not going to happen and this is not the case and blah, blah, blah. And then yesterday, even once they'd admitted that they'd sacked John Eustace, they then came out and said that the process is going to start. We all know what the situation is. You don't need to put those words out there. Just, it was almost like a waste of 8 paragraphs from Gary Cook yesterday. Just be honest about it. We wanted Wayne Rooney to be the manager. That's fine. That's your job. It's in your gift to do that. You own the football club.
Yeah, but then there is a responsibility to try and give some clarity and understanding.
He didn't really do that.
He didn't do it. It was just meaty mouth.
It's better saying the style of football isn't quite what we anticipated. We want to move in a different...
That's what he's hinting at, isn't he?
We want to move in a different direction, and Rooney's the one we want to take us.
But if Gary Cook's relatively new into Birmingham, right? If you start in a vein of sort of obfuscation and sort of mealy-mouthed statements, then immediately you put people's backs up. If you're just honest and clear and just saying, look, yeah, listen, John Eustace did a great job, but actually Wayne Rooney's an icon of the game and he's put himself in challenging environments. We think he's going to be a great manager and he's going to play a certain type of football. So we've gone down that road. Everyone goes, okay, we might disagree with it, but that's okay.
Well, maybe you should be in the job Gary Cook's in and he should be in the one you're in.
What? Because he talks a lot more than I do. What are you trying to say?
No, but you sound like you'd be really good at that.
Are you being sarcastic?
No.
It sounds like you are.
Do you think Rooney's going to be a success at Birmingham? Because you look at his win record at Derby and in the MLS, it's not that impressive.
You've worked with him. You know what he's like.
I think what he did at Derby was pretty phenomenal. when he nearly kept. That was an amazing achievement considering what they had. He puts himself in situations that a lot of people wouldn't take on. Doesn't mean he's going to be a success at Birmingham, but
what does success look like for Birmingham? Because they're 6th in the table.
Playoffs.
If they don't make the playoffs, it'll fail, won't it?
Were Birmingham expected to be in the playoffs at the beginning of the season?
But he's taking over a club that's 6th.
Yeah, but
I
it's
know,
only
but
his
it's so
first few
little.
games
I
of
mean,
the season.
QPR were near the top at the beginning of last season, weren't they? So it's I think probably coming in this late, if he's not got them in a promotion position, as in pushing at least playoffs next season, then he's failed. I think this one's a bit hard. I don't know the quality of the squad and whether they are punching above, but it sounds like they are from what I can understand. I think he's hungry. I think he's determined. I think if he manages anything like he plays, he's going to have a hell of a chance of success because he is relentless.
The fact that they've said that they expect to take the Blues to the next level suggests that they've got to do that now, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think there's a lot of pressure on Rooney because more of the fan base at Birmingham are against this appointment than are for it. A popular manager has been replaced, seemingly for off-the-field issues. He's going to have to hit the ground running.
The owners and board members are ambitious. They are driven to help make Birmingham City a football powerhouse, says Gary Cook. It will not happen overnight. It is a step-by-step approach.
Might be 2 steps back because initially, although you're right, I mean, ideally did the ground running, but when you try and change a philosophy of the way they play, and Birmingham fans might come on and tell me how, I'd like to know how they have been playing, because my understanding of the wording I'm hearing is that actually they've been doing all right, great in terms of results, but the style of football ain't particularly conducive to what the owners want. So therefore, if they're going to try and change the style quickly, that normally takes a bit of time.
I don't necessarily get that. And I'd love to hear from not just Birmingham fans, but football fans in general. What's more important, that you play with a certain swagger,
style of substance,
or that you pick up victories? We know the Championship is attritional. Surely it's just about winning promotion this season. How you get there is irrelevant for most fans.
We are well aware, says Gary Cook, of what has happened at Blues over the past decade. We believe we have moved on from those dark days, giving hope and aspiration to existing and new fans.
So they want the American market, basically.
Our intent is to be judged over what we do in the years to come and be ambitious with the new story that we are writing.
Wrexham Part 2.
Is that what you think it is? Just because Tom Brady's involved?
That's the obvious assumption,
isn't it? Are you waiting for a documentary to be released?
If there isn't a documentary, I would be shocked.
Okay, interesting. Wayne Rooney has been announced as the new Birmingham City manager. 03717 22 3344 is the number to call if you want to give us your reaction to that. You can text us 81089 as well. Did you always think he was going to be a manager?
No.
Why?
It's just quite quiet, unassuming I mean, not on the pitch. I mean, he'd give it on the pitch, but he didn't seem like the type who would go into that kind of that field. I don't know why. Some players give you the impression straight away that they are, and some don't. I never thought Stevie would.
Because he was quiet.
He was just really determined, brilliant footballer, great determination, great belief and desire in himself. Belief in himself and desire to win and be the best, but. I think maybe in the latter stages of the career, obviously I wasn't around Stevie, maybe then they both were better at helping others and bringing them together. But Jamie Carragher was probably the one shining light at Liverpool. I thought he's destined to be a manager and he ended up in the media. So what the hell do I know?